Did you miss this wonderful, wonderful trade? Let's talk on how you will have caught this wonderful trade. Not only this one, but every other trade that comes in this manner. Let me first clear up the charts before we get into today's lessons. The market does the same thing, okay? Here's the game. We want to understand what was done in the 3 sessions that happened before the session that we trade. There's Asia, and there is London. And now there is the session that we trade, which is the New York session. So every time when you come into the markets, you want to first of all understand, what did Asia session do? What did London session do? And from that is where we'll come up with a game plan on how to trade the New York session. So let me zoom out so that we may understand this and we may learn on how to get these trades. The Asia session, there's only 3 things that the market will always do. The market will either trade, will either consolidate, or the market will reverse. Just that 3. So coming into the markets, I want to understand, what did the market during Asia session do in respect to that? We can see we opened, and when the Asia session began around the 3:30 in my Eastern Standard Time, AM, that is, convert that into your time, price auctioned and price traded lower. So this is a rally during the Asia session. Good. When I see an Asia session rallying, I am now interested in seeing what did you do in the in the London session, sorry. Realize that Asia price dropped. Amazing. So when we come into the London session, what does price do? So as Asia session comes, we had this low, okay? And this was the lower high. Let me drag this even longer, because it is clear that price made a lower low, initiating that we still don't have a low day in place, and we came back into this range. And price stayed during the entirety of London in that range, and it was at the end of London that price drops. So London, what do you do in London? Price consolidates, and this is in our game plan. What does our game plan say? When Asia moves in either direction, let's say Asia moves up aggressively, then London calls about. What I'm expecting in New York session is for us to explode in the same direction as Asia. So look at this. Once Asia moves in one direction, this sell-off, then London coils, okay? What I'm expecting for us to move in the same direction as Asia. So that's the entire idea. Whether be it by price buys aggressively during Asia, we consolidate. I'm looking for a chance to buy again in line with Asia's direction. So that wasn't different from today. We see this and I'm like, wow, the price is good. So there are 2 models that I used to enter. I wish I would have drawn it, but for now, you'll allow me to explain with the charts because it's a short one. Subscribe and like. During the weekend, I'll make a detailed video explaining these setups in depth. But I hope you understand the game plan. We want to look at what Asia did, what London did, and come up with a game plan for how we will trade the New York session. So Asia price drops. That tells us much for Asia. Then we enter consolidation. Once we do that, there's only one game plan that I have, I want to take a trade that is in line with Asia. So price drops aggressively during the New York gap. Just before we open, this is 3:30 East African time. My Q, I'm using East African time, so convert that in the time zone that you trade. Just before the New York session opens, price makes a wonderful drop. And at that, there's only two ways I'm going to enter. I'm going to enter in a low hanging fruit or 3 pushes. What do I mean? Low hanging fruit, I'm expecting price to drop, okay, to break significant levels. Then we make a level, we retest the level that we had made, and we come to this level, that the new lower high, for us to drop. That's one. Or price to make a lower low, we come back to the highs, form like a consolidation, like a coil, and drop. So what was the game plan in this day? At first, when I came to the market, I saw this drop, and let me show you some weaknesses that we have even when you have a good setup. I saw that this drop, this drop in New York session broke this level. So at this one, I'm looking at 3 pushes. And once we get the 3 pushes, I'm expecting like a coil for the continuation of the drop. And price is so sweet. It gives you what you want. So this is it. Price drops 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. But there was something that was off. This push needed to have a coil before we drop. What do I mean by a coil? A coil is something like, oh man, like this area. Are you seeing my mouse? Oh, yeah, like this area. Let me even use annotations. Price is like this area. So that's what I expected around here. But we see price started to drop. This looks good until you realize we did not take this area out. So that's off. And that brought me back to thinking, what am I really looking for? What am I really looking for before I start looking for an entry? Coming back to yesterday, that is 24th of February, Monday, we can see this. Yeah, this was a lower high, and that's what we broke. But we have this, and it's always the previous significant level. It's not just a level that we want broken for us to look for the 3 push. So coming into this day, I realized we had this level holding. And having this level holding, that means one thing, we can't enter aggressively. We'll have to wait. Since now this is a lower low, we need for price to pull back to where we started, coil and drop. Okay? Because the only buzz that I'm having on this day is we are looking for a sell opportunity. So this is in Asia. Asia drops. Then London consolidates about. Once we get that, I'm expecting for New York to drop. So now, that being said, let's understand now how we'll have sought for entries. How we would have sought for entries. Entries, low hanging fruit, which occurs like this. Price can break a level here, pull back, then we come to this level. Q, now we have made this level, okay? Then we come to the level that we were. Remember, what are we looking? We're looking to sell in line with the direction. But after making this level, we trap people that are going long. We come, and once you're in this level, I'm expecting like a coil to validate that for sure. This is the level that we want. After that, we take now the entry. This one is one of the way I'll enter my low-hanging fruit trades. LHF in short. Amazing. Or price can come, drop, but doesn't break a significant level. Now, this is today's case. That is the 25th of February. After that, what do? We pull back inside, make a level, then again make a lower low. What do I want after you make a new lower low? I want price to pull back all the way to around these levels, validate the levels, and I take my trade. These ones sometimes are usually the hard ones. You know why? Because of your fucking discipline, of your fucking self. These are the prices whereby you'll wait and you'll think that you could be smarter by trying to catch this or whatnot. But if you learn to sit at your hands 90% of the time, you will make big money in this game. So yeah, now let's come back to understanding the entry, because I promised this video will be a short one. And if you want a more detailed video, comment so that I may break this strategy down for you guys. So there it is, this drop, and many people feel, oh, I missed on it. But hey, price had not opened. There's no news. So this was just us trying to make a lower low. Price coils. I'm thinking about it, then I look at the charts and discover why we shouldn't even seek for a trade. Then look at this. Price gets people long. Price gets people long. Price gets people shorting long. You know, there's a difference between how this moves and how this is moving. You get your good entry, in a matter of minutes, you're done. But here, it keeps you second guessing. Look at what happens in this level. Price looks like it's forming an M, but oops, makes a high. Now it's in these levels that we're interested. Price pushes, but you can see this push compared to even these ones. We are not making new high significantly. And it has at this last batch that we get who? The breakout traders involved. And look at this. In a matter of 2 candles, all those who bought from here to here are already out of money. And that's what we want to see. If price does not coil at the level that we want, then we want a fake out. And this was the fake out given by this cast. So after this, we are looking for an entry. You enter this candle, put your stops around here, 25, 24 pips, and this is the first take profit area. Always guaranteed the lower low that it made. But you know what we are targeting more? We always target now the significant lows. Let me zoom out so that you may see. We always target the significant lows. And what's the significant low here? Monday. And you can see how far. By you just taking this, 200 pips, price still went even lower. And was that hard? No. So I hope this was clear to you. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, and comment, do you want me to break down this strategy more? By breaking it down, it means I'll explain it on a chart, and I'll bring more examples on how this simple idea is. What has Asia done? What has London done? And from that, what game plan do I have for baby New York to make money? Good. I wish you all the best as you trade today.